Oh, fresh coffee.
Nothing like fresh coffee.
Yesterday was a long one.
It was. Well, it wasn't, but it was.
Yeah, long run. And it was cold.
I think that was the biggest thing, was cold. Yeah, but it was a good day.
Well, let's tell everybody what's going on here first.
First of all, welcome to Trapping Inc. Scuttlebutt podcast.
I'm Rich.
And I'm Sandy. And we've had a very special guest out at the trapline this weekend with us, our grandson Nathaniel, who is now 6, and this is his second trip to check traps with Grandma and Grandpa.
And he is such a big help now.
He is.
Yeah. Last year it was also new, and it was like...
Well, he didn't know what to do. He didn't know what to expect. And this year it was all full of, are we going to go this way again? Are we going to do that again? So it's fun because...
He remembered a lot of this trail, didn't he?
Yeah, he did so.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
He helped, big help this morning when we were... had to hook up a trailer to haul stuff in and out to the truck and everything.
Yeah.
And he was helping Grandpa do that. He did a great job of directing me on how to back in the trailer
and holding the pins so that you didn't drop them in the snow. It's an important job. Keep Grandpa organized. Usually it's Grandma that has to do that. I'm just saying.
What's that old meme on Facebook? You think you can hurt my feelings by yelling at me? I used to hold the flashlight for my dad.
Yeah, exactly. I think we've all experienced that just a wee bit.
Oh, that was so... I thought I was all alone in the world when it came to that. Yeah, getting yelled at because I held the flashlight wrong.
Yeah. No. And the puppies, well, they know Nathaniel really well, so he's just part of the pack.
Yeah.
We come out here.
Yeah. They share the back seat of the truck.
Yeah. But having a 6-year-old's perspective on life is kind of interesting because when I picked him up from his house on Friday, first of all, he wasn't going to say goodbye to his mom. He just said, "I'm leaving!" And she had to hurry up and get a hug in before he was out the door and into Grandma's car. But we started talking about he had to leave school early. And, oh, that's good. Yeah, good job, Gunner.
On your bed. That was thanks to a dog.
Yeah, well,
Let me check, make sure that you're still in the frame.
Okay.
Hey folks, Rich from Trapping Inc. TV here, and it's no secret that I'm a big fan of coffee. Our friends at Old Smokes smoke roast their coffee beans over wood fires. You have no idea how good coffee can taste until it's smoked coffee. Did you know that studies have shown that just the smell of fresh coffee can boost brain activity? Yeah, it's that good. Sandy and I have teamed up with Old Smokes Coffee to make our own Trapping Inc. coffee blend. Let me introduce you to Wolverine, an ultra dark roast coffee bean smoked over maple wood fires. This is the pure, uncut trapper's fuel that keeps us laughing and trapping all day long. If you'd like to try our special blend, you can find it at www.trappinginc.com/shop. If dark roast isn't your thing, Old Smokes has 5 different coffee roasts from light to extra dark, each roasted over a different wood for a unique flavor. Right now, you can order from their online store and use our promo code RICH, that's RICH, and get 10% off your entire order. Just go to www.oldsmokescoffee.com. That's OLE smokescoffee.com and use the promo code RICH. That is promo code RICH for 10% off your entire order. And now let's get back to today's show. Yeah.
Nothing much happened there. That's just
authenticity.
Yeah.
Authenticity.
Yeah. Things are authentic around here. Anyway. He had to leave school early on Friday, and in order for Grandma to pick him up early and us to get back to our house and load it up and whatnot. But one of the things he was telling me was that he learned something. But you know what, Grandma? I didn't learn it at school. And I thought that was a really interesting perspective for such a young fella because and then we talked about all the places that you learn things that you don't learn at school. And I thought that was really cool. So we talked about trapping and that on the trap line, there's some really cool things that you learn that you don't learn in school. And he's in 4-H, even though he's 6, there's a 6 to 8-year-old classification called cleavers. And he goes to that once a month. And his mom comes with him, not his dad, which is not a big surprise to us. And, when he goes hunting with his mom and dad, when he spends time at his other grandma and grandpa's, he learns things there because they live on a farm and they have animals. So it's a really interesting perspective to see from a 6-year-old's mind's eye all the places that you can learn, and just to remind them that it is all learning. It's life skills, it's life lessons. It's not just...
That's why this is so important, and what YouTube and Facebook are doing to us.
Yes.
And censoring us is so atrocious, so vile.
Yes.
And the whole problem is that when the little guy comes out trapping or goes hunting with his mom and dad or goes cutting wood or holds pin for me while I'm backing up to hook up and all that, he's getting life raw.
Yes.
Unfiltered.
Unfiltered.
He's not getting somebody's...
It's his experience.
Interpreted idea of what he should learn.
Yeah.
He is actually learning. Yeah. And that's for YouTube and that to say that I can't show him on a video out trapping because that is the same, that's child abuse.
Yeah.
That is wrong.
I mean, and it can't be said enough that we are demonetized for anything that shows children on Trapping Inc. Mm-hmm. And we've been, what's the word? From Amazon Prime.
They suspended our account.
Yeah.
We're done.
Yeah. So they can still use all of our content, collect money, but not pay us. So
we're fighting about that. I don't know whether we'll get paid or not, but we're fighting about it.
We're Canadian, they're American, they're a huge corporation, we're not. So, is it worth the trouble? So therefore, we have gone to a different platform, and we have talked about it before, but I don't think we can talk about it too often. That we are on locals.com and
trappinginc.locals.com.
Right.
We got to quit saying locals.com. We got to say trappinginc.locals.com.
Right.
It's a community. Locals is the global. If you think about the country, that's locals. And each community in it is another program. And we're trappinginc.locals.com. And I mean, it's the same old thing. You pay for, the thing about internet was everybody decided that it was all for free.
Yeah.
And big tech is really good at this. Don't do that, please. The camera can hear that.
Thanks, honey. It's
Kids,
hard.
I don't remember them making that much noise.
I think you just went outside before.
Yeah, I did. As bad as you thought my hearing was, it's still too good at this point. Big tech is really good at saying, we let you use our platform for free. So you can't complain, you can't whine, you're using it for free. You're not using it for free. No. You're giving up your privacy.
Well, we believe that no matter what format you use to get your information, you're paying for it somehow. So we believe that your time is how you pay for it. So if you have to sit through commercials, then that's part of your time, right?
Yep. Or your privacy. They take and farm all your data, and they take and sell it to all of their
cohorts.
Their cohorts, their data miners, their data purchasers. Do you know how bad it is? Here's the thing. This lets you know how bad it is that this is why Facebook changed its name to Metaverse. Was because they feel that the name was no longer relevant to the youth, and that the youth weren't signing up for Facebook, and that is by far selling people's private information is the major way that they make money.
Yeah.
So that tells you how bad this is, and it tells you how much you're giving up for free.
Yeah. Or you can pay a small amount of money to get authentic content that's delivered in a way that is easy for you to consume.
Ad-free. Ad-free. We do not ever sell your information. All I get is your email so I can talk to you.
Yeah.
Usually it's to give away. We just gave away a really cool trapping book last week, and we're giving away some coffee right now, some of the Wolverine coffee.
Yes, the Wolverine coffee. And that's become quite popular. In fact, Old Smokes actually crafts that coffee for us. And they have been getting orders for Wolverine coffee, which is kind of cool because they don't sell Wolverine; they only make it for us.
Yeah,
So
it's
that's
our
cool.
special blend.
Yeah.
But it is interesting though. I mean, you pay for it one way or the other, and our community is $5 a month or $50 for the year. We give you a break if you go for the whole year, and there you are safe. You can talk about what you want. You can post what you want. We don't have trolls. Because you know what? If I get a troll and he wants to try and complain or whatever, I'll give him his $5 back and tell him to kick.
And not one of them will.
I dream about it. I dream about telling him
know.
to kick a frozen horse turd down the road.
I know.
I might have to interpret that for some of them. They wouldn't know what frozen is, but we do.
Well, we're right in the middle of Frozen right now, so that's kind of cool. And then the other thing about being part of our community is that if you're part of the community, not only can you enter for book draws and coffee draws and whatnot, but we gave away a trip to the trapline, and that is happening in 3 weeks' time. So our guests are coming from Manitoba, and we are really excited about that. Before we leave today, we have to go and check the other cabin and make sure that I remember everything that's in there and not in there, so that we have it all.
Well,
cozy.
lady thing, guys. You know, like the fellow that won is bringing his wife. And so Sandy's got to make sure they have matching towels and all that kind of stuff over there. Matching towels that they can use right after they melt snow to wash their face. Yeah.
Not quite. We'll actually bring them some potable water. But it's going to be a raw experience, and it was really cool because I did speak to our winner's wife, Angie, and we had a very nice conversation. She's excited about getting here. She's not a trapper herself, but she's excited for her husband to go out on the line and just to spend some time out here in nature with me, because normally when we get to the point of the winter where the snowmobile is in use, I stay at the cabin. And
you're
and
not
my husband eats better. We all eat better when I'm back at the cabin to make a nice meal for dinner.
That was something though about yesterday, that with just taking one little 6-year-old, we filled that Argo full of stuff.
Yeah.
There had to be snacks, and there had to be food, and there had to be water, and there had to be a sleeping bag and clothes, and on and on and on. It was like, good Lord.
But it's a good thing that we did, because it was chilly, and for a while we weren't moving very fast, and then the heater wasn't putting out as much as it could have, should have, and so his feet got cold, and by the time we got back to the cabin, mine were cold, and I think yours were cold, and
it got colder and colder all day long, and we were just, because of the 3, and we had one cracking check. Wait till you see the program we make out of this.
Yeah.
Things were just going so slow, and it was so the Argo didn't stay hot. It did warm up. I forgot to put a piece of cardboard on the radiator on it. Just a minute there. Hey,
Nathaniel.
Shh.
We gotta be quiet, buddy.
Shh.
He's got dinosaurs that he's playing with, and they roar.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
But here's another thing, cool thing about being part of trappinginc.locals.com is the fact that we do some live on the line stuff.
We do,
and so those videos go up. That's just for our supporters, and our supporters can get to contact us, get to reach out to us, deal with us directly. We have a lot of information that goes on there that is nowhere else. You're not going to see it anywhere else but there. We're done with this, with the YouTube, Facebook stuff and that. You're going to see, the occasional picture or whatever, just to let people know we're still alive. But all of the video and all that is going there. And there was some cool stuff happened yesterday that we were putting video up over.
And lots of pictures that we took yesterday too. And we've just gotten going with the long fur as of November 1st. So this was our first really big check. We had one short check before that we actually did pretty well on.
Yep.
And then turned out to be kind of a manufactured long weekend last weekend, and our daughter and her children came from Saskatchewan, left Dad at home to tend to all the cattle, which I think he was happy to avoid 2 8-hour trips. But cattle still have to be looked after, and especially so now when the cost of everything is so high, you can't afford to leave anything to chance. So anyway, we didn't get out here last weekend, so that could have been part of why we had such a crackerjack check yesterday. But
Could be, but I mean, it was also a change, right?
Yeah.
We went from no snow to snow.
yes,
And the temperatures dropped.
and some cool temperatures too.
And for the first time, you didn't have to winch out of that one creek.
Oh yeah, I don't like that creek. There's something creepy to me about falling through the ice, so that's why if you watch the Argo going across the ice and it falls through, I'm always the one behind the camera standing on dry land. I am not in the Argo where I suck all the oxygen out of.
Well, we put up a really good piece of video about the Argo,
Yeah.
and it'll be in one of the episodes this year, and I explain why I did what I did because it looks
Yeah.
reckless. Looks reckless, but it's not.
No.
There is a reason for it, and it's just part of we've done so much of this.
Yes.
You do it without thinking, and after I edited it together and I put it up on trappinginc.locals.com, and people were saying, well, what if it doesn't fall through, or one side falls through? Well, I knew that body of water intimately. We'd floated it 6 times in the last few days before we got really good in snapping one night, and it put about 2.5 inches ice on, which is about an inch short of carrying the Argo. I knew the Argo wouldn't carry the Argo, so I just I explained what we're doing, and the whole explanation and everything will go in a show, but not to give it all away. It actually makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's like maybe this guy does know what he's talking about. Maybe he's done it once before.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's lots of internet heroes out there that do things that are reckless and dangerous and whatnot, but that's not the way we do it. And it was funny because I had welcomed a bunch of people to our Trapping Inc. group, which is a closed group, and you have to apply to come in, or you have to ask to enter the group. So I did a welcome on Friday, and somebody said, thanks for adding me. I look forward to a bloopers reel. And I just said, well, and it's something that we've said many times before, but not everybody hears the same message all the time. We don't have a camera crew that follows us around like Mountain Men or some of the other shows where they go, gee, you know what? It would be really cool if you would back your snowmobile into the lake and it would break through and we could make a whole story about that. Everything we do is live and raw, and there's nothing manufactured. And because it's just the two of us, if stuff goes wrong, we're too busy getting it right to turn on the camera and show you. In most cases, however, I did get a good piece of video the second time we broke through on my favorite creek where I was stumbling and whatnot, and I didn't want to be the wincher or the winchy.
No, you didn't want to be in it at all this time.
No, so I just took the camera and watched him do it. So
I always say the difference is when you talk about Mountain Men, their average cost is $600,000 per episode.
Yeah.
That's what it costs. I always say the difference between them and us is
there's many zeros.
Yeah, we're $600 per episode. Not quite. It's more than that, but
it is more than that. But it's still
in case Canada Revenue Agency is watching. I mean, it is more than that.
Yeah, it is more than that. I mean, it's so much more than just your cost of getting out or being out here. It's all preparation, as any business owner knows.
Yeah.
It isn't about the hard cost when you get here. That is pretty minor in the big scheme of things, but it's everything else. And then it's all the upkeep and everything else around here, which you're going to see on this season 8 that's going to be starting to air in April. But you also see, that's one of the other things about being a supporter on trappinginc.locals.com, is that we show you bits and pieces of what goes on around the cabin. Lots of
the life behind the scenes and that, just because there's just no time for it in the TV program.
No.
And we're trying to put more in, but there's just you can turn talking about what you're having for breakfast into a 5-minute segment. And I think if it was 30 seconds or something that would be fine. But I kind of think I don't want to watch them people eat or talk about breakfast for 5 minutes. I mean.
5 minutes seems like a very short period of time, but within a TV show, when you only have basically
4 segments, that's one of them.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's about 22 minutes of actual content, right? So you take 5 minutes, there goes just about 25% of your show. And And I think there's lots you can show in a much shorter period of time. That
Well, you take it. I'm not going to give away any secrets here, but you take the check we had yesterday.
Yes.
Like, I mean, I won't get that into 2 shows. I mean, it's just incredible. And everybody down in the U.S. right now, you're watching us on Pursuit Channel. You've just seen our trip last year with Nate, the Tater Man, and where he got in on a skunk and 2 weasels, and the only skunk we ever caught on our trap line. Like,
except for the following weekend, we caught another skunk in the same trap.
yeah. Anyway,
could've blown us
it was he made up for it this year. He made up for it.
Oh yes, yeah, he sure did. He was very he was our lucky charm this weekend.
Yeah, he's singing in the background, playing with dinosaurs here.
Yep. And so you took him out this morning while I tidied up the cabin and got things put together for heading home, and you pulled the wolf bait in.
Yeah. We are allowed to collect roadkill, and so I got it here. I haven't set it yet. My coyote bait at home's doing well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got what, 3, 4 now.
Yeah.
And
nice ones too.
every one of them is
and
just
they don't
perfect.
have that shoulder mite.
Yeah.
That has been so prevalent in our area and out here too. Well, out here we've run into mange a few times.
Oh, the wolves have had mange bad. Yeah, we've just not worth. You want to burn them. You don't even want to leave them around because mange spreads. But I was talking with a fellow who's a fish and wildlife officer and a trapper over by Hinton, which is the Rocky Mountains inside of Alberta, and he said they can prove how much control trapping has on wolves. Because they're part of there are certain areas where the Wild Sheep Foundation of Alberta pays trappers for wolves. They pay $300 per wolf, which is great because I mean I think the last 7 or 8 wolves we've got out here we're skinning, so I got bumkus for it.
Yeah, and there's a lot of time, effort, money,
work,
energy, everything that goes into setting up and maintaining a wolf bait.
Yeah.
Those of you who are regular viewers would probably know some of that because probably some of you at least trap wolves.
I hope to do a podcast with him. Of course, him being a government official or working for the government, there's got to be a bunch of
Okie-dokies.
Yeah, he's got to get approval from everybody. I says, well, listen. I says, we'll have a safe word. You say the safe word, and I'll go the other way, or whatever. I don't want to embarrass you, but it's interesting because he's eminently qualified 2 ways, both as a working as a conservation officer and as a trapper. And he said the last 5-6 years, he said they have not got a mangy wolf, they have not got dog louse, they have not got anything.
Well,
but they're keeping it under control.
Well, and that's the big thing, and it's the things that the aunties don't want to hear. Nathaniel, be careful if you back it. Yep.
Yeah, don't bump
the
that,
other
please.
way, buddy.
Yeah.
I knew it was gonna.
I knew it too.
Anyway, there's lots of things that are proven, and yet not accepted by people who it doesn't matter what truth or science or whatever says, they're not going to believe it anyhow. So that's one thing. But I wanted you to talk a little bit about the coyote bait because you had an unusual situation that happened out there.
Move, please.
Nathaniel, can you move the other way?
I don't know if we're still on camera here, but
I'm pretty sure we are.
He pushed it pretty good. Quiet, please. Quiet on the set. I think we should just wrap this up. We'll save the coyote story for another day, okay?
Okay. It's all good. Anyway, thanks for joining us. Thanks for being a watcher, a listener, a supporter.
Come see us. Come see us at our community at trappinginc.locals.com. You'll like it. You'll be happy.
See ya.
See you down the line.